So I've seen some other YouTubers try out some NBA trivia, and I'm always down to hop on a trend, so I said, it seems kinda cool, so let's try it myself. So today we're gonna see if I can name every single opening day starter for the 2015/2016 NBA season. Now, some of these guys are gonna be easy, the star players, established players, the veterans, but there are some Scrub Lord 9000s, as well as some guys who were in there because of injuries to the starters that make me go, really? And let me say this now, there are a couple of guys that I definitely should have gotten that I just straight up forgot in the heat of the moment, including one name in particular that I have no idea how I forgot, but I did, so you'll see what I mean. And they're actually pretty generous with this. They give you 12 minutes to do this, and I'm trying to go alphabetical. The 76ers, the only reason I got that backcourt was because I did the series on them, so I remembered Isaiah Canaan, or Cannon, or however his last name goes, as well as Hollis Thompson. I can't figure out the damn forward spot though, man. It's not Robert Covington, it's not Jeremy Grant, so we gotta go on to the Heat. Miami, that one's a pretty easy team with all their starters. It's crazy how much their roster has turned over, man. Dwayne Wade is gone, like, I'm still shocked by that free agency decision by Pat Riley to not let Dwayne Wade just stay on the team, but he didn't want to pay him, I guess. Now the Brooklyn Nets, this one's kind of tough, because, well, they suck. So once I get past Brook Lopez and Thad Young, I managed to pull out Shane Larkin, I don't know how. And the Brooklyn Nets, they're basically an expansion team at this point in the NBA. It's too bad with those draft picks, man. San Antonio, this one's pretty easy. I hope LaMarcus Aldridge's ego doesn't get hurt by me not selecting him as the very first guy. Here's hoping those rumors aren't true, man. I want to see Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge going for championships for a while. But who knows? I actually spelled Antetokounmpo correctly because I had it on another tab, because there's no way I'm going to spell that right on rip. But he was actually injured. Like I said, there were some guys who were hurt in this. We do see Greg Monroe. I don't know if he's actually going to be a member of the Milwaukee Bucks for much longer, given that he's a post-up player and they're more of a fast break style kind of team. The Hornets, it took me way too long to think of Marvin Williams, man. He was like one of my favorite players in the league this year for his kind of poor man Draymond Green development, and for some reason it just didn't click entirely. But eventually I do get it. Now I know he does watch my videos, so hopefully he doesn't get too disappointed when he sees that. Of course I'm going to get Moody, he's like the best player that I've ever had in any of my GM videos. And then the Nuggets, their center position is really confusing because I thought it was Jokic, who looks like he's going to be one of the best young players in the league for a while. It actually wasn't him at the center position. Shout out to Gary Harris, who's developing into a very good 3-and-D player. I had to leave off the Nuggets for a minute because it wasn't Nurkic, it wasn't Jokic, I don't know who the hell their center is. The Suns, funny enough, they had a pretty veteran starting five, but as we know, their season went south very quickly. But now they got Devin Booker to lead the realm for them, so hopefully they're pretty good in the future. They do have to figure out that backcourt situation. Speaking of backcourts, Derrick Rose and Jimmy Butler is no more. It's too bad, because if Derrick Rose never got hurt, that backcourt of him and Jimmy Butler could have been perhaps the best one in the league, maybe even better than Clay and Curry, because we got to remember, before D. Rose got hurt, he was one of the best players in the league. Top 5 probably. I'm surprised Rodney Hood was the starting shooting guard day one for the Jazz. I thought that might have gone to Alec Burks, but then I remembered he's injured all the damn time. Now, the Utah Jazz have been dealing with point guard troubles for a while, so I have no idea who their point guard is. The Pacers, they made a lot of changes this offseason. I was not in love with all of them, but the talent alone might be enough to carry them over. Plus, having the best player on the floor most nights in Paul George is always a huge thing. Speaking of one of the best players, Kevin Durant, of course, in OKC, he's no longer there. For some reason, it takes me way too long to realize OKC's starting lineup, but I figured it was pretty set in stone. Westbrook, Robertson, Durant, I mean, it's now Westbrook, Oladipo, and Robertson, and even then, those three are going to be hell for a lot of NBA teams for their athleticism and defense. And this one's funny with the Cavaliers because I actually guess Mozgov, but I spell it incorrectly, and this website isn't trying to help me out or anything, so I actually get the center position wrong. And for the Kings, I'm a little ashamed to admit I forgot Ben McLemore. He's one guy in the NBA, you know, I'm still on McLemore Island. He's one of those guys who I'm not giving up on just yet, but I forgot his name in the frickin' quiz. Now, the Pelicans are a troll team because these guys had so many injuries to start the season. It's not a surprise how bad they were on the jump, and you're going to see when the results come in of this test. Holy hell, they had some injuries, man. Their starting lineup is bad around Anthony Davis. Timberwolves, I actually forget the two forwards, and I think you'll understand why I forget them towards the end, but they're going to be really exciting. I got to talk about my Celtics for a second. The starting lineup that Brad Stevens rolled out day one. It's no wonder that we were so mediocre to start the season. David Lee, Tyler Zeller, Marcus Smart, who's the worst shooter in the NBA. And now Jay Crowder and Bradley are great, but, you know. Now the Knicks, guys, I forgot Porzingis. I'm just going to tell you right now. I look at the forward position next to Carmelo Anthony, and I forget the second best rookie in the NBA. And the guy who's going to be the best player on the Knicks not too long. And I actually forgot him. Knicks fans, I apologize. I don't know how I managed to do it, but I actually did it. Now for the Trailblazers, they actually roll with Myers Leonard as well as the Plumlee brother. I say that because I can't remember which one it actually is between Miles and Mason. But I saw the forward position and I was thinking Alan Crabb and it wasn't him, so I was like, well, screw it, I'm going to go on to the Clippers. Clippers are pretty easy. Although their small forward position, which is always the one spot that plagues them, I don't know if I actually get it. No, I do get it, it's Lance Stevenson. Funny enough, I watched the very first Clippers game this year, or last year at this point. Stevenson made his first open three, which made me like super optimistic, like, oh yeah, Lance is going to do it, he's going to have a great season. And, well, he was released not long after. I don't know why, man, it's crazy with Lance, he just fell off a cliff so quickly, and I don't know how, because he was a legitimate, really good player for the Pacers that one season, and then he blew in LeBron's ear, and next thing you know, he sucks. What team am I on now? The Orlando Magic? Oh no, I'm looking way ahead. Luis Scola, the infamous starting power forward for the Raptors, which I crapped on all regular season on Twitter. You know I was going to get that one. Shout out to Zach Randolph for being the last guy for the Grizzlies. I hope he's able to maintain himself, you know. I just think being heavy and like 35 years old at this point, I think this is the year Randolph drops off a bit. I don't know if I could figure out the last forward spot for the Magic, man. I thought it was Aaron Gordon, turns out it wasn't him. He's going to be playing like small forward for them this year. I'm not a big fan of that because I don't know how he's going to be the shooter and the ball handler that they need, but whatever. Dwight Howard was injured for the Rockets, and it took me a moment to think of Capella. I'm actually pretty optimistic about Clint Capella. I think he could be a real player for them at the center spot. And it actually takes me way too damn long to think of Trevor Ariza, because he's been kind of like the mainstay of the Rockets along with James Harden for a few years now. And they also have Ty Lawson at that point guard position, but I forgot about that experience entirely. I'm on the Wizards now at this point. It takes me a minute to think of Otto Porter, who was really damn good in his, I think, third season for them. So I think he can step up and be a two-way efficient player for them for a while. Atlanta's pretty easy. Jeff Teague, Kyle Korver, Kent Bazemore, Millsap, and Horford. It's going to be interesting to see how Millsap fares with Dwight Howard for this upcoming season. Because going from Horford to Howard, that's a definite difference. I really can't figure out Wesley Matthews on the Mavericks. I get Raymond Felton of all people, but I can't get Wesley Matthews. So we got a lot of the main guys done, and now this is the fun part where I'm like, who the hell is who? Now I do manage to get a couple more names, but as we see this thing go down, I got 124 of 150, and among the ones that I missed, I'm going to say like around 5 were like, how the hell did you miss that? Okay, the 76ers, Jakar Sampson, no one figured that one out, okay? Don't blame me for that one. Wayne Ellington on the Nets, okay. Chris Copeland, Jared Bayless on the Bucks, that's a little excusable. Al Jefferson on the Hornets, I probably should have got that one. Joffrey on the Nuggets, hey, he was on the Nuggets series and I managed to forget him. Raul Neto of the Utah Jazz, okay, that's cool. CJ on the Pacers, you know, I'm actually a big CJ Miles fan. I think he should be starting over Monte Ellis, so I should have got that one. Timofey Mozgov, I was so mad, man. I friggin' guessed him right, but I spelled it wrong. Oh my goodness. Look at the Pelicans. Nate Robinson was their starting point guard. Kendrick Perkins was their starting center, and Dante Cunningham, who's actually not bad, was their starting 3. So yeah, no wonder they sucked. I actually forgot that KG was starting for the T-Wolves, even though he played like 10 minutes a night. And there it is on the Knicks. Kristaps Porzingis. I don't know. There's no reason I should have forgot him. He's going to be one of the best players in the NBA in a few years, and I managed to forget him. Ersan Ilyasova, the Pistons, I forgot that they tried that out. They replaced him with Tobias Harris. I'd say that's a pretty good plus for the Pistons. So, I guessed like 120. There were a couple that I should have had. I forgot Evan Fournier, even though I'm riding the Evan Fournier train IRL. I'd say overall this was pretty good.